In the top left part of the map here on Merry-Go-Round Ladder Edition, it is our blue Zerg player, Felicity's Anticitizen.
And in the top right of the map, our red Protoss player, Swanky's Oxygen. Oh, Swank Hamburger right there.
So I'm trying to think about it. What are the different Day 9 clans, really?
We've got the Ladder Clan.
Right.
We've got the Day J.
There's Day J. Then there's Day...
Yes.
There's the actual 9 clan, which has Day 9 himself in it. And then I guess Swank counts, because it's full of Day 9 community members.
It is full of Day Knights, it is.
And then there's... I guess ours counts too, the master list, but it kind of doesn't because we need to add people to it at this point.
Yes, we really do.
We really do.
It's like you, me, Caleb, and
yeah.
I think that's it, actually.
Yeah, Caleb, and he's in Japan, so he's never on anymore. But oh well, what can you do? Yeah. If you are interested in playing in my clan, contact me later. Otherwise, let us.
So. Oxy dropped his forage and is moving out to scout. Cannon rush. This would be extremely devastating on a patch first.
This can work pretty well, and honestly, the time it really only works best is if you can catch it unscouted. So there's nothing keeping an eye on the hatchery right now. So this could work very, very well. Now, if he's smart, Anticitizen is going to keep a little eyeball on the terrorist in his base. Make sure he doesn't leave any presence behind. And he's doing that. He's actually checking behind. He's like, what are you doing? I like how those points turn into attack points. It's like just watching. Murder! If he's still in the base. Punch him with my little crab hands.
Crabby punch.
Now, the thing is, Oxy doesn't actually look to be doing a cannon rush. He's going for a typical setup in order to get a Nexus up quickly. And he's currently positioned the probe in a spot where it will not be seen. So, yeah, it does not look as if Oxy's trying anything cute. Yet.
That is a very important word in that sentence.
He's coming back up here right about when the hatch is finishing. And he's going to run up into the main base. So, no, yeah, he isn't going to do that. He's getting up here just in time to actually see the spawning pool be done. Still pretty far out from seeing speed, and he can actually click on the geyser and know that. Yeah, he gets an eye on what's going on up here, and then he can get out of there pretty quick.
Back home, he drops his own double gas. So maybe he... I don't know. Is he going to fall back on his two base push that worked so well for him first game?
Or maybe we have to keep an eye on here. Is he grabbing speed? Nope. So he's saving it for something else. Yes, okay. He's just slightly off time. All right. So it looks like he's going for link speed real quick. And the thing is, this is actually a map where bailing busts are really strong. You don't really see it a ton, but I know at this level, this is pretty difficult to deal with just because you can break down that little patch of rocks right there, and you get a free access to the rest of the base. You don't even need that many banelings, and you just link flood them from there. It's certainly a possibility, and the fact that he's still collecting gas is leading me to think that we might see this happen.
I went wrong. I do like me some banelings. Yes.
You do like you some banelings.
I do. I do me like banelings some. Yes.
That was hard to say for some reason. Yeah, there's the baneling nest and everything. So
sure enough,
fantastic.
Called that one.
I'm actually getting to see this happen. I've theorized it since this map came out. Okay, and no one ever does it in a show match. Now there's sixlings being like, you need to leave. You're not welcome here. And this probe is going to run up into the space, and he's going to try and go for the one last ditch scouting effort. But this queen and no more lings. Okay, well that should tell him something's coming, because you never see this many lings at this part of the game unless you're the one planning the attack. And if you're not planning an attack, you got to feel real nervous right now.
Definitely. Yep, he's dropping additional gateways in response. We are up to five gates now.
What he really needs actually is force fields, and then he needs to start placing a lot of buildings. If you don't have anything there when the initial attack happens, it's pretty rough. Anti is surprisingly not attacking, though. He's gone for this build, he's getting more lings, and he's just kind of hanging out at the front. Which is really not so good, because if he's really planning to go macro with the good, there we go. I was supposed to say, he's going to end up behind if he just basically doesn't build a bunch of drones and then has lings that don't do anything for a while.
I think there's that number of lings that just feels right, especially after you suicide a bunch of them into the buildings.
So you're going to start making the banelings. He needs a few. You're just going to run out and see this right away and see that there's literally nothing he can do about it. Oh! I can actually just go into the base now. I'm trying to go in. This might be a little bit too aggressive on his part. And he's losing a few lings for his troubles. But here come the banelings, just going to charge forward. And he's actually just going to go straight for the forge, which I find to be a very interesting choice. And the lings go running in. And this is a panic moment for you as a Protoss player, because he's going to go straight for your mineral line. He's picking off the zealots that are coming in. Takes them out. And now he's still working down the units here. And he's got an Artosis pylon as well, so you can actually just shut down all of the production. 20 more lings coming out. Lings actually getting to work on the probes. Probes not defending themselves in any way, so he's going to just eat this part of the base alive. Here comes a bunch more zealots being warped in. Finally does react, but not before taking a decent amount of worker damage. Being brought down to 26. Effectively mining from only one base at this point.
Ooh, this is painful. He lost half his base in the main.
Oh, here comes a bunch more lings, and he's gonna run in and do even more damage. Ouch. Wants to fight away from this cannon if he can. He's actually doing a decent job zoning the lings out, and he's just deciding, nope, I don't want to deal with it. He's gonna back out. And build more banelings.
We have
dun dun dun!
17 on the way. 17 bright blue balls of death.
By the way, zealots are pretty...
Whoa.
Interestingly enough, not running forward to deal with. No, that's because they realize that they're running into explosive balls of death that are really good against light armored units. And the upgrade dies. Loses a pylon. This literally will make your heart rate go to max as a Protoss player. Because you feel like you're holding it, and then here come the links. And then the links just run in. And they're being barely controlled. He's focusing on units, he's gonna get the pylon, and he's gonna get the cannon, and he's just gonna kill everything at the front. Oh, he's gonna go for the cybernetics core. That's actually a decent choice.
Main train does not stop.
18 more lings coming in. Does have +1 on these lings as well now, so they're going to do some serious damage. Having to pull the probes.
A little bit of
a couple zealots warped in on the back of this.
Counter warp in there.
Does do some damage to the mineral line. The thing is, I think he needed those at home. No, maybe he didn't. Wow. Somehow Oxy stabilizes. At this point, though, with these lings, I wonder if he would be... Yeah, he's going for the roaches.
Right. And
if he could get him through the front and do more worker damage, that would be totally fine too. But
Oxy's production tab is empty as well, so he's feeling the burn here.
Yeah, there's always kind of like a moment where you're stunned, and you can just notice that by looking at his gas. He's got 1,100 gas. That's a lot of tech he simply hasn't made at this point. And he's running forward to attack here, and I really do not like this. He's got to run headlong into these banelings, and that's the end of that zealot attack.
It's going to change very quickly.
Hello! There's 7 more Dragoons.
Dragoons. Banelings completely bypassing the Zealots here. Zealots chasing with their stubby legs.
Yeah, the Lings are just going to run straight into the front and not really accomplish much by doing that. But, yeah, 2 Banelings. And 2 Roaches. So this is actually kind of what I was hoping to see. We're seeing a failed cheese where neither party is really coming out, vastly ahead. So we can have a macro game now. The question is, will they realize what's going on fast enough to actually have the macro game, or will somebody suicide all their units into the other guy and die?
I don't know. I think Oxy's on the way to do that right now. He's only got 80 minerals at home.
This is a decent-sized force, and he has actually pretty good positioning, but he's fighting out in the middle of the map, which kind of favors the Zerg a little bit. At least it did until he lost his links. Now he's actually in a little bit of a rough spot. And he needs to pull everything back and engage on his terms, especially on the creep if possible. Doesn't want to lose these overlords, though. He's going to try and engage. This is probably not that bad, what he's doing right now, just because the overlord's actually tanking a lot of the shots for the roaches. And will it be enough, though? Here comes some more to help out with the attack. Lots of stalkers on the back of that.
Oxy,
And he's running forward. Picks off one sentry.
Oxy needs to be careful not to fight too close to the creep.
He's going to have attack speed bonus. They're doing okay. Starting to beat this back a little bit, but there's just not... God, it's so close, but I think the Protoss is just barely taking this fight. Somehow... More Lings coming out in the back. Will Roach Speed finish, or will he focus it down? Now come the Lings try and work on the Stalkers. They're doing a decent job of picking them down. Ooh. Once again, just barely, not really enough. Roach comes out. Here comes the Broodling. He's comes that building micro. Poke, 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 poke.
Pulling the drones, never a good sign.
Maybe would have worked if he did it at the beginning of the fight, but at this point, that's probably just kind of ending the game, really.
Somehow Oxy tips the table back in his favor.
Nearly thought he was dead more than a few times there. Probably could have been, honestly, if Anticitizen just focused down either on the buildings or on the probes, really. But
Oxy's gonna push in, take it 3-2. Lots of spine crawlers.
Well, this will hold this off if they finish. Will it be enough? I'm not convinced of that, to be frank, but we'll see here.
Well, honestly, at this point, all he has to do is stand at the bottom of the ramp and not let Anti leave.
Yep. Get an expansion, which he technically has. He's 2 basing.
Ooh.
He's gonna get up here and be like, oh, that's annoying. Gonna try and focus these down. And that's a lot of spine crawlers. You do not attack into that with that kind of army. If you think about it, they have one of the most like unintimidating sounding attacks. It literally is just.
Oh my god! Oh, and he's got
Nidus
a Nidus network.
Oh my goodness!
This is ridiculous. Where is he?
He's put it out in the front of the base. This actually could work if he can get a decent number of Lings over there. Oh, and that makes your heart stop as a Protoss player when you get that screaming noise. Because you're like, oh man, where is it? Oh, he's going to expand to his third.
Oh, wow.
Here comes the Lynx, and the Parent Lynx just right there. Oh my gosh.
Is
he going to take this? Is he going to take this from the jaws of defeat? Oh, he recalled home. So at the very least, he's gotten Oxy to leave. Very convincingly. Oh man.
Careful, careful. Every unit matters at this point.
Yeah, he's seen that he's got home, so he's like, fine. Oh, drone leaves too. They're canceling. Well, I gotta say, that sends a message. Get out of my house.
Yeah.
That's the message.
Yes, it does.
This game's not over yet, guys.
How is this
Oxy,
happening?
Anti desperately needs another base. He is very far behind economically now. And Oxy, frankly, he can just move up in any kind of tech he wants, get that gas spent, and he's going to be good to go.
We're looking at 38 workers to 19.
Yeah. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This is looking really bad for Anti. If he pulls this out, that would be miraculous. That would be fantastic. That would be... This gets a gold star and placed in the Hall of Fame for Showmatches, that if one existed, it would get put in it. If he doesn't, I'm not surprised, but he kept it going way longer than most people have any ability to, so he gets credit for that.
Gonna lift all these spine crawlers. They're gonna fight to get down the ramp.
That one Baneling going to make this an efficient engagement for that Zilla if it actually explodes. Good. Does not. So it's apparently not possible, I think, to fit that many spine crawlers on that much creep. Yep.
Perfect position, though.
So here's the problem with this. This is all anti-ground, not anti-air. And what is Oxy doing but what every Protoss does?
Void raised.
And building Void Raised.
Right.
And that's the end of the game.